Welcome everyone to another great, beautiful episode of Brutally Honest. Now in this episode, you're going to quickly benefit from learning and picking up the signs as to which, why is it that they're keeping their distance from you? Why is it that all of a sudden they acting cold with you? Why is it that all of a sudden things ain't the same? Matter of fact, let's say you're in that position and you're the one that's actually doing this. Let's say you're the one that's acting different. Let's say you're the one that's acting cold and all of a sudden you don't feel like things have been clicking the way they used to feel anymore. This is the episode for you guys to watch. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about how to create a healthy space in your relationship. We're going to talk about why is it that we can't have friends as far as them being the opposite sex. Like, why is it that I can't have a female friend without everybody thinking that all of a sudden we're smashing? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about as far as give me a choice. I can respect it. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you felt like was right, as long as you give me a choice, I can respect that. And last but not least, we're also going to be talking about how no response is the response. How you staying quiet can actually mean a lot more than a full-blown conversation. Yeah. Stay tuned. This is Brutally Honest. This is your boy Stitches NBC and my man
Brutal Keith.
And I'm going to put it like that. I'm going to start it off like that. His name is Brutal Keith the MILF Hunter. And I'm going to put a stamp on that. My nigga, I got to put a stamp on that. I created that name. So being that I created that name, anybody that says his name, they have to say it with the accent. It has to be an Australian accent. I know mine's kind of a little mixed with Haitian and stuff like that. But just whatever accent you could come up with. It has to be Stitches NBC and your boy Brutal Keith the MILF Hunter. How's everybody doing today, man? I hope everybody's doing good.
I swear.
It's your boy Stitches NBC, man. I mean, let's get it popping, man. You good?
No. Same issue.
That's cool. I tell her run with these guys.
She come with the guys.
I like them one size.
Me, I like them fun size.
Yeah, I like them slim thick.
Me, I like them more wide.
Man, I bag them so quick.
Me, I got them in the ride.
Then like, room.
Fuck being modest.
Yeah.
Keep it brutally honest.
To all the viewers, we made a promise to keep it real and brutally honest.
Fuck being modest.
Keep it brutally honest. To all the viewers, we made a promise to keep it real and brutally honest, man. And that's our intro. I know you're liking that and things like that. So it's crazy because last week we was talking about how labels don't define you. How we was talking about so people are such in a rush to go for a label and things like that, that all of a sudden they throw everything out the door. I also wanted to talk about how people take labels too damn serious. How people feel like just because you have a certain title, it entitles you to a certain things. It entitles you to speak on things that you probably you have no even right to be talking about in the first place. You feel me? We're going to be talking like that. Like, how many of y'all have been in a position where y'all post something on Facebook and all of a sudden now everybody feels like they want to tell you exactly why did you post that or all up in your business and questioning your actions on what you do on Facebook, on what you do on Twitter and on Instagram. I see that you're trying to be a life coach. You shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, okay, so because I'm a life coach, I shouldn't keep it real or speak on things my way? Like, no. If it's like I don't forget about being a life coach, forget about being an inspirational speaker, forget about being a mentor, forget about being a role model. If I have to go by specifications on what a title goes by, about what a label goes by, then you know what? I don't want it at all. I don't want to be categorized and I don't want to limit myself to one certain field. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about. And in this show, we do be yourself. Right, Keith?
All the time.
We do practice what you preach. Right, Keith?
Every day.
And then I'm glad that you say that because it's like, I was reading the comments last week and a lot of them, they hated when you was on the show by yourself.
They hate it? Oh, okay.
So, being that you said practice what you preach and be yourself and all this, and let me ask you, have you ever been in a domestic violence situation?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever been in an abusive relationship?
An abusive situation. I wouldn't say an abusive relationship, but I had an abusive situation. I'll leave it at that.
But yeah, when all these females was over here talking about domestic violence and abusive relationship, all of them was getting tight. All of them was getting on your ass, talking about all this and all that. What is it that you mean? Just walk away. And it was your show. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And then I received that from the last video, and I'm like, I feel like they deserve an explanation, kid, because they I think some of them are still pissed off. Because it's like, if you don't know nothing about this shit, why the fuck are you talking about it?
Here's the reality of it. At the end of the day, I mean, how other people feel about me, I take it with a grain of salt because everybody's going to have an opinion, right? But to clarify that, maybe where some of that misplaced anger or misplaced, I guess maybe on my term, lack of communication came from was the fact that I took a personal situation of mine and I generalized it. And when I came out talking on the episode, instead of me saying this is something that I went through, I basically was like, everybody should do this. Should just walk away. Because that's what I did in that situation, and that's what I would tell anybody to do that's in an abusive situation.
To just walk away.
Well, not necessarily to just walk away.
Because that's how they took it.
If that's what the situation called.
That's how they took it. Like, what you mean just walk away? And it's like they took it personal.
Well, they did. Because at the end of the day, it was a lot of people that were saying, well, no, they're not going to just walk away if it's something worth fighting for. And that aspect of it really wasn't the message I was trying to portray or not necessarily negate. It's just the message I was portraying was more of a personal situation that happened to me. And it came off as, because I made it generalized, that's everybody should do that. And if you don't, you're wrong or something. I mean, I never said that, but
it made it seem like you had like no sympathy for them, and I feel like that's how they took it.
And I can agree that some people may have taken it that way. And even in my own criticism, I'm talking about, damn, well, how did I do on the show? One of the things I said was, that situation I probably should have made more personal versus generalizing it. But hey, we live and we learn, and that's why. Eventually I'm gonna get better. That was my first time going live by myself.
But to be honest with you, I'm only asking for a friend.
Yeah.
I'm only asking for a friend.
I was waiting to slide that in. You beat me to it.
I was just asking for a friend. It's not really me. I really don't care. It's my friend that cares. You don't know them though, and they don't know you either. But they're the one asking the question.
Got it.
What am I talking about, Keith?
Moving on. Anyways, and like I said, that's what happened when it came to that situation and that aspect of it. But for the people that didn't like me there by myself, I mean, not for nothing. Most of the people that are on here, majority, are your friends. They may not know me to be like, yeah, they want to sit and listen to me for a whole hour or 40 minutes talk.
But that's the thing, bro. Like, they see you here and you how you're talking and all of that. And, a lot of times that they forget, we're here and it's so personal to them that they draw themselves into as far as, like, y'all speaking, like, on a one-on-one level. Like, y'all talking face-to-face. Like, everything that they see in here is they base it like it's reality. Like, it's a reality show. I understand it's not a TV show because we're not on TV. It's still a show, though. You feel me? It's still a show. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not talking like we're making things up or anything like that. No, we're talking from personal experiences. Do I might mix and match some of the experiences that I've had in my whole life? Of course I do, just to make the example and to make my point. However way I got to make the point, I'm going to make the point.
Exactly.
You feel me? So it's like, we're building something here and we got a lot of supporters. You want to call them all my friends. Be specific about that. All my Facebook friends, even though I probably like them a lot more than I like a couple of my family members. And I feel like they deserve that because of the messages that we was getting. It was like, oh, Keith and all this. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's all this shit coming from? You feel me? Yo, if y'all watching this live, hit 1. Y'all watching this on the replay, hit 2, man. I mean...
It's a couple people showing ones already. I seen them go through. So
it's like we're talking about how to create a healthy space. Because like how the caption goes, like, I'm going to need my space, ma, because... You're getting too comfortable now, like for real, my nigga. Like I was like, yeah, you could sleep over, and all of a sudden she brings the luggage, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, maybe she thought she was gonna sleep over the weekend, so I let it slide. But I forgot that it was only Wednesday, so I gotta go through 5 days. I'm like, so maybe she packed for 5 days. I don't know, whatever. I had to go to work on Sunday, right? Something came up. I come back and I see a U-Haul in the garage and people moving stuff in, and I'm like, maybe she just needed extra space in the house. Maybe it was just too cluttered, and the storage unit was closed up because it was Sunday, so it was closed. So I'm making up with excuses, and all of a sudden I go into my closet to look for my clothes, and none of my clothes are even there. It's like it's not even my closet anymore. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about like some people, they get so comfortable that by the time you realize it, they already got their name on your lease. You feel me? Like, you have to stop shit like that immediately. Let's simplify. Let's simplify as far as Shorty comes through, and Shorty always comes through. And when Shorty always comes through, she sleeps over. But is there a thin line as far as when does she no longer have to ask to sleep over? Being that it's been so common and you haven't said anything, and now all of a sudden it's automatically assumed. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna need my space because you're being a little bit too comfortable. When you're talking to me about my kids, when you're talking to me about my own job, when you're talking about my own personal life, things that it's. I wasn't so free at liberty to be opening up to the public, but you start bringing it up like, oh, did you do this for that yet? And in my hand, I'm like, you clocking me? Like, you clocking me? Like, oh shit, my fault. I forgot to clock in today. Can you punch me in on the computer? Make sure I get paid? Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Being too comfortable. Like, now all of a sudden the shorty's moving in. Like, name on her lease. Like, taking up all the fridge space. Like, chick, I don't drink milk. Well, what are you buying milk and cheese for? Like, what's all this yogurt for? Like, I'm, protein. Like...
And the reality is this, like you said, at what point, do they stop saying something? It's when you stop saying something, when you start letting it be okay for it to be done. When they come over the first time and they sleep over and you didn't say nothing, you think they asking the next time? Oh, hell no. Now it's a pattern. Now it's just, we do this now.
So it's your fault now.
It's always your fault.
But it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It's whose responsibility, right, to fix it. So let's go for that. So let's go like that. It is your responsibility to create that space with your partner, especially because everybody has a different threshold. Everybody has a different comfortability level. I don't even know if you find that on Webster's dictionary, but it sounded good, right? Comfort level. That sounds more simple, right? Everybody has a different comfort. Let's simplify it. Everybody has a different comfort level. So at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to let your partner know, or just let the person that you're involved with, talking to, it could go a million levels. But at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to let them know as far as when too much is too much.
Exactly. And if they're stepping into your comfort zone, especially when you're getting to know somebody, like you said, obviously you're already coming over and spending time with this person. And on occasions before, it's like, hey, you know what? We've been drinking, shit happened, just stay the night over. Or it's really late. I don't got to go to work till late in the afternoon tomorrow. You can stay tonight. We'll get up together in the morning. Cool. That's when it's being offered. But like you said, once that changes, it's like, well, when I come over, now I'm just going to bring a change of clothes and a bag with me because I know I'm staying the night without even asking, hey, is it okay? It's up to you to check that. And if you don't, they're going to continue to think that it's okay. But if it is okay with you and you haven't said anything, you can't say months down the line, hey, you know what, I'm getting tired of you sleeping over or not asking me to sleep over, when for over a month or so now y'all been doing the same thing and you haven't said anything. That's when they go, you're not being consistent.
Yeah, it's like I got two different type of toothpaste. I got the whitening toothpaste and I got the sensitive toothpaste. The whitening one is for my guest. The sensitive one is for me. Why is my sensitive toothpaste down to this level? That's what I want to know. Well, why don't I have no more sensitive toothpaste?
Maybe a guest had sensitive teeth too, and they saw that one and was like, oh, he
no,
really knows me.
It's the most.
He really knows me.
You're right. Oh my God! But it's like, just to simplify things. So it's like that's what you're talking about. That's exactly what you meant about being too shy. You're in your 30s. You should know what you want and you should go after what it is that you want. That's specifically what you meant about being shy. I know a lot of people misconstrued it and whatever, but let's just be specific as to what you meant about you're being too shy. And that's what it is. So at the end of the day, like, you don't want her to be shy, right? That's what you said. You want her to take that extra foot forward. You want her to take that initiative, right?
Definitely.
But at the end of the day, you want her to see that. But at the end of the day, if it's too much, it's your responsibility, like, to let her know, like. So, what time does the last bus get here? Wow, I had such a long day and tomorrow's not looking good either. So, it's getting late. Instead of just saying, I think it's time for you to go home, because that's too rude now. That's too brutally honest, right?
Well, hey, I mean, sometimes it backfires too, though. Sometimes they feel like the vibe is there, and not to interject, but just sometimes they feel like the vibe is there and they have that connection to be able to do that. And when you do check them, they start backing up as if, wait, hold on, maybe I'm moving too fast. And then they start to feel like they're on eggshells because now all of a sudden you check them.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like a lot of times, because we all got different experiences, and more importantly, even though this does affect it, we all have a different perspective.
Facts.
You feel me? So it's like when we say something, we have to make sure that it matches with our action too, just to emphasize on the meaning as to what it is that we're trying to convey or even say. Meaning, you could tell them whatever it is you want, but if you're acting different, then the other person's going to feel off, and vice versa. So it's like, if I'm acting like if I'm telling you, yeah, it's okay to sleep over, but I really don't feel it, and all of a sudden I'm catching an attitude for you, why did I tell you it was okay in the beginning just to create unnecessary drama for? Why couldn't I just feel comfortable enough to be like, to be honest with you, I actually feel it best if you just go home. I just want to go to sleep by myself. Instead of the person taking it, or well, maybe that's why people double think it, because the other person usually takes it personally, like, oh, but what did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, but what did I? And at the end of the day, you didn't do anything, man. I just had a long day at work and I just want to sleep comfortable. And that's what I mean as far as communicating specifically to what it is that you're trying to say. Because I'll say something like this. I'll say something, yeah, I need a strong, independent woman that knows how to say no to me. So a female hears that, and all of a sudden they feel like, all I want is for a female to tell me no. All I want is for a female to challenge me. All I want is for a female to try to demasculate me and even take it as far as disrespect me.
Yeah.
You feel me? Especially if you're in my crib. Like, first of all, this is my crib. What I say goes. This is why you're in my crib.
Facts.
If I'm in your crib, I'm going to show you the same respect too.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, just because I say, what I meant by that, I need a strong, independent woman that knows how to tell me no. What I meant by that is, being that I am in entertainment, being that this is all entertainment, you need to understand that it is all entertainment. You feel me? I do music. There's a lot of things that I have to portray or role that I have to fit for what it is that I'm doing. Let's simplify. Let's say I'm writing a song. I'm writing a song to how I'm feeling at that moment. It doesn't mean just because I release a song and I'm talking about breaking up with you, with a girl, means that song is for you. You got to take it personally, like, oh, was that song about me or something like that? Listen, just because I wrote something or you heard something that had a relevance to what we went through, that I was just talking about my experience, and to use that experience as to fuel what it is that I'm talking about, as to reasons why I will break up with something.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to mean as far as you have to take a person like I'm talking directly to you. Do y'all understand exactly what I'm talking about that? I mean, do you?
I definitely get what you're saying. And at the end of the day, like we was talking about, it comes with the communication. And when you do get to that point to where maybe it is out of your comfort zone, to have to step up and say so.
You have to. And that's what we're talking about as far as it is your responsibility. So to answer the question, how do you create a healthy space in the relationship, is by taking charge. Is by knowing yourself. Like we love to preach as far as, before you get into a relationship, love yourself first and know exactly what it is that you want. Exactly what it is that you need. Exactly what it is that's lacking in your life. If it's happiness, you should have found that already within yourself, because can't nobody make you smile harder than yourself. Is there an importance? Like, we're all here for a reason. We all have a purpose in life. If you don't know what your purpose is, just know that there is a purpose and you're just seeking it. You feel me? Because a lot of people don't even know what am I here for? You know? So as far as creating a healthy space, it is your responsibility to let the person know when they do something, when they say something, or when they act a certain way that you don't like. You know, one of the questions that somebody asked me about, they wanted me to dive a little deeper, was as far as what is it that I really mean between sacrifice and a compromise. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, the main difference is a sacrifice is something that you're just giving up. Period. I'm just simplifying now because I was thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And a compromise is a mutual agreement as to, okay, I should stop doing that, and that person is going to stop doing this just so we can reach a certain goal together.
Yeah.
You know?
Mutual agreement.
Oh, she doesn't like when I'm always at the bar and hanging out every night. I don't like when she's always out with the girls at the club and whatever. Let's compromise. I'll do what I got to do. I could do that three times a week, and you could do it too the rest of the time. We could spend together and build a future. That's a compromise. If it just comes from one part, then it's a sacrifice. And at the end of the day, what are you sacrificing for? That's why I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't sacrifice anything into a relationship, because the sacrifice is you giving something up from yourself. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel empty. You're going to have a void. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have that resentment.
Definitely.
Blaming the other person when the only one that's at fault is at yourself, because you have the choice. You had that choice. You decided what you wanted to do, you know? And it's like nowadays in society, you know, to move on to the next topic, it's like nowadays I can't even have a female friend without people thinking we're smashing. Like, oh, how long y'all been together? I'm like, dude, she's like my sister. I mean, I smashed her last night, though. I'm joking. That's what they think. They go, because I'm Dominican, because I'm a player, because I'm a big-ass flirt and all this. No, at the end of the day, it's because that's just the way society is, because everybody's always sleeping with everybody. That's why it's hard to have a friend from the opposite sex without anybody thinking you're involved in that way.
And at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't matter what everybody thinks. I mean, if that's your relationship, that's your relationship. But like you said, why is it that nowadays you can't have a friend of the opposite sex that's just a friend? I mean, has it come to the point to where all everybody is a FWB, a friends with benefit? I mean, is everybody just a friend with benefit?
To some certain extent, but that's not the benefit we're talking about. We're talking about the sexual benefit. Let's clarify. Let's keep it brutally honest as far as what we know they're really talking about.
When we say friends with benefits, that's the only benefit we talk about, right? I mean, other people might say, "Hey, he a friend with benefit. He helped me out with my cell phone bill and this, that, and the third." Mm-hmm. You know, I call that tricking. But you know, at the end of the day, people have different friends with benefits. But you're right. Talking about it sexually. I have a best friend. Me and my best friend. And she's female. We've been best friends for years. She probably knows more about my life than my brothers do. And that's just because me and her have a connection. Everybody used to think that we smashed. I don't know if they still do, just because we really never have and never really gave off that we have. But everybody used to think just because we were so close together and two people can actually be themselves around each other with no agendas, that there had to be something sexual going on. And there never was. Like ever. And
it never was. But that's just because of what it portrays, you know, because of what people see. But it was like, but how did this question really arose? And I'm going to get into that while we were finally able to invite people. Mm-hmm. You know, everything works the way it's supposed to do. I'm a firm believer in that. And it's like, no, you couldn't. No, you can't do anything. That's fine. We keep it moving. We keep it moving, you know.
Oh, man. I love it. Get it back up, though.
How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good. I hope it's still recording too. So it was like, back then, somebody was asking me like, oh, I got this girl, she really likes me, blah, 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 blah. And they responded to me like, oh, but would you bring her around the family? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, snap. I don't know if I would bring her around the family, something like that. And that made me skeptical. I started thinking about it. And then it's funny because then you asked me the same question about a week ago. Like, oh, but would you bring her around the family? And I was like, to be honest, I don't give a shit. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care about nobody else's opinion. So now everything completely changed. It doesn't even have to do about somebody else's opinion or if the family would accept her. Like you said, Miss your rest in peace. Your mom always say, "Oh, she ain't good enough." Like at the end of the day, it doesn't.